Hello everyone and welcome to my B&B 724 YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge's return to Brooke is unaffected by Taylor's desperate proposal. According to B&B spoilers, Taylor Hayes makes a bold move by asking Ridge Forrester to marry him at Illinois Giardino. As Taylor struggles to keep Brooke away, Nick Marone watches the startling scene. Will Ridge agree? As Nick observes from the shadows, Taylor's desperate proposal shocks Ryder. Oh, my own. Good. Was Taylor Hayes merely acting in the way I believe she did? Listen, aficionados of soap operas, I thought I had seen everything because I've been watching The Bold and the Beautiful for years. Evil twins? Verify. Storylines that have been revived? Verify again. However, what about Taylor proposing to Ridge Forrester in Illinois Giardino? I didn't anticipate that plot surprise at all. When anxiety overtakes. Let's discuss what is actually taking place here. Taylor is feeling desperate, not only passionate. And truthfully, who can blame her? Taylor is aware that she has an uphill struggle ahead of her as Nick Marone has returned to town and is getting close to Brooke Logan. Even after being married to Ridge twice and having 3 children together, the woman is still unable to stop him from seeing Brooke. What is the job of our favorite psychiatrist, then? She decides to handle things herself. No more waiting for Ridge to demonstrate his dedication. You can no longer rely on him to ask you to marry him. No. Taylor is organizing the entire proposal and purchasing her own engagement ring. A modern woman. Yes. But yikes, too. The ambush at Illinois Giardino. Imagine this scenario. Ridge arrives at Deacon Sharp's restaurant believing it to be just another meal. Nothing fancy, maybe some spaghetti and a little wine. Then, bam. After taking out a ring, Taylor begins to speak about their future together. According to the spoilers, Ridge will be caught off guard. And truthfully, I am, too. We know Taylor as a calm, professional psychiatrist who always has things under control, but this isn't him. The never-ending Ridge-Brooke merry-go-round has pushed this woman to the brink. Nick's direct view of the drama. However, this is where things become quite juicy. The drama surrounding Nick seeing the proposal and its implications for the plot must be further developed. I should keep the tone dramatic and gossipy the whole time. When all of this is happening, Nick Marone happens to be at Illinois Giardino. Discuss the importance of being in the right place at the right moment. With those cunning eyes of his, you know he will be watching every moment of this proposal. And after observing Taylor's desperate action, what will Nick do first? Naturally, run directly to Brooke. Hey, Logan, you'll never guess what I just saw at Deacon's place. Is already in my mind. This is just what Nick needs to show Brooke that Ridge isn't really as devoted to Taylor as he says he is. Because, let's face it, you shouldn't have to pop the question yourself if a man genuinely wants to marry you. Ridge's unachievable decision. Ridge, poor thing. The man will be placed in the most uncomfortable situation possible. In front of a crowded restaurant, Taylor is essentially pleading with him to show his love while holding a ring. What is he meant to do? Does he really want to marry her if he says yes? Or is it merely to spare herself the embarrassment of denying her? And Taylor will be aware of the fact that his heart is still split if he hesitates for a second. This romance is already doomed, according to the spoilers. Horrible. Therefore, we are aware that Ridge's response will not result in a happily ever after. Their relationship won't be saved by this suggestion. It may be the ultimate factor that ruins it, if anything. Why, Taylor? What is Taylor thinking? I must ask. Has the decades-long love triangle taught her nothing? Since the 1990s, Ridge has been alternating between her and Brooke. Wouldn't he have committed to Taylor by now if he truly wanted to? This desperate action betrays a lady who is aware that she is losing the fight. Taylor observes Nick approaching Brooke. She notices Ridge growing envious. She is aware that this will lead to yet another reunion between Ridge and Brooke. In an attempt to restrain him before he can return to his destiny, she is using force. However, making someone marry you? That is simply depressing. It isn't love. We can't wait to see the fallout. Fans of soap operas, take note, This suggestion is going to cause a huge stir in Los Angeles. This is what I anticipate. Without a doubt, Nick is telling Brooke everything. He'll most likely exaggerate the story as well, making Ridge appear even more uneasy than he was. Brooke will seem to be naive, saying things like, "Oh, I didn't realize Taylor was so needy," but within, she will be planning her next course of action. Ridge will attempt to let Taylor down easily or accept grudgingly. This isn't going well, either way. Taylor will come to the realization that she just made a fool of herself for a man who will never truly pick her above Brooke. Will she eventually wake up as a result of this? Is this Trid's rock bottom? See, I understand. With this man, Taylor has endured a lot. Writing about it is exhausting. She has died, returned, fought for him, lost him, gained him back, and lost him again. But making a proposal to someone who declines, that's sacrificing your dignity, not taking command. The most depressing aspect? Taylor is a successful, smart, and strong woman who is free to choose any man she desires. Rather, she is pursuing someone who is always on the lookout for disaster and is prepared to return to Brooke at the first sign. This plan seems to be Taylor's final, last-ditch effort to alter a story that has been set in stone for many years. However, you can't make someone pick you. You can't make a proposition to get someone's attention. Furthermore, whatever cosmic force is dragging Ridge back to Brooke is unbeatable. To save face, will Ridge say yes? Is he going to crush Taylor's heart in Illinois Giardino? Will Nick take advantage of this to attack Brooke? The programs that air next week will undoubtedly be must-see TV. Because you can tell the drama is just beginning when Ridge Forrester is at a loss for words as Taylor Hayes gets down on one knee. Is Nick Marone's romance being faked by Brooke Logan? Jack Wagner's return to the daytime soap opera as Captain Nick Marone pleased viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful. We are aware that Nick will remain and play a significant role in several major plots. However, what if his reunion with Brooke Logan is more than that? Below are spoilers for what will happen next on B&B. According to this week's preview for Bold and Beautiful, Ridge Forrester is going to go crazy and Nick and Brooke are pursuing their reunion headlong. It appears that Brooke's strategy of hooking up with his half-brother was successful in making Ridge envious. Ridge feels envious. According to B&B teasers, Ridge will be unable to conceal his disappointment that Brooke is at last moving on, even though he is living with his other ex-wife, Taylor Hayes. Ridge's obsession with Nick and Brooke is so obvious that even Steffi Forrester can see it. Taylor and Ridge will soon part ways over Brooke Logan. Ironically, Ridge ignored Brooke's repeated pleas for him to take her back over the course of months. Is Brooke becoming inventive and trying to get Ridge back by making him jealous with his brother? Although Nick appears sincere in wanting to reunite with Brooke, it's likely that she is only using him to wrest Ridge away from Taylor. Nick doesn't have to choose Brooke. If Nick Marone's relationship with Brooke doesn't work out, he has plenty of other ex-partners in Los Angeles with whom he may meet up. According to rumors, Brooke's sister Katie Logan, who briefly married the captain when Jack Wagner was a regular on the show, may have her sights set on him. The Bold and the Beautiful has done it again, and this time, the drama is turned up to 11. So, soap fans, brace up. In her decades-long battle with fate, Taylor Hayes, who is always graceful, often logical, and emotionally caught up in Ridge Forrester's emotional roller coaster, recently pulled off one of her most desperate moves. She dropped down on one knee and proposed to him. Surrounded by spaghetti, murmurs, and precisely timed gasps from passers-by at Illinois Giardino, no less. And who happened to be lurking in the shadows, sipping a glass of wine, keeping a hawk eye on everything? Ridge's lovable, sulky half-brother Nick Marone has just returned to town and is obviously eager to cause trouble. If you thought Taylor's proposal would be the big reveal, you might reconsider because what follows could potentially destroy all of the tenuous ties that bind the elite of Los Angeles. First, let's talk about Taylor. Taylor is a mother, a psychiatrist, and a lady who has faced loss and heartache while remaining composed. She is no fool. However, all bets are off about Ridge Forrester. This is about identity, history, and validation, not just romance. She has been the other woman for years, even though she wasn't meant to be. the antithesis of Brooke Storm at all times. Ridge keeps returning to the turbulence and carnality that Brooke provides, even though she has been the dependable pick, the safe option, and the intellectual match. What should a woman do, therefore, when her ex-husband, who is also the father of her children, continues to suggest a commitment but then retracts it as soon as Brooke bats her lashes? In front of the entire restaurant, she apparently gambles her pride away, invites him to dinner, and purchases a diamond. Imagine the scene. Illinois Giardino, linen tablecloths glowing in the golden evening, tense breaths emphasized by the clinking of wine glasses. Ridge arrives, anticipating a relaxed dinner. Perhaps he saw it as a nice night spent with a woman he had loved for decades, a romantic throwback. However, you can sense the change as Taylor stands there, digging into her purse with sweaty palms. The customers are quiet. Ridge looks in confusion. Then, she falls to one knee. In her palm, a ring sparkled. As she describes years of love and grief and assures him of a future full of security, family, and unwavering devotion, her voice quivers with passion and terror. It's a proclamation, an appeal, a hailstone thrown into the tumult of their shared past. And Ridge's expression speaks for itself. Not happiness, not enthusiasm, perplexity, hesitancy, fear. And Nick comes next. Oh, Nick Marone, drinking, watching like a shark circling injured prey from a dark booth. As soon as he has the opportunity, you can be sure he will turn this into a weapon. He's really already organizing the call with Brooke. Logan, you won't believe what just happened at Deacon's place. His eyes sparkle with strategy in addition to mischief. Because, let's not forget, Nick has a grudge against Ridge and has a history with both Taylor and Brooke. Dropping a bomb like Taylor's proposal directly into Brooke's lap is the perfect method to reignite old rivalries and fires. This is a tectonic upheaval in the B&B industry, not merely a spectacular moment. Since everybody is now playing a different game, Taylor has put her cards on the table with her wager. There will be no more waiting, no more hints, no more concealing. She has made herself vulnerable and demonstrated to Ridge and the world that she is prepared to commit again. Here's the problem, though. Would a man ever be genuinely yours if he hasn't proposed to you by now and you have to do it yourself? Ridge's response speaks for itself. He doesn't jump with happiness. He doesn't grin and give her a hug. He appears to be stuck in a corner. And for months to come, every connection on this program will be shaped by what occurs next. Does he say yes under duress or out of sympathy? Does he publicly break Taylor's heart by saying no? Or worse, does he dodge commitment by waffle, delay, and mumble some nebulous romanticism, the Ridge classic? In actuality, Ridge doesn't want to make a decision, therefore whatever he decides to do will be the wrong one. He desires both Brooke and Taylor, the comfort and the upheaval, the stability and the excitement. Brooke is going to have a field day in the meantime. She will pretend to be shocked, worried, and perhaps even sympathetic when Nick breaks the news. Oh, Taylor, how unfortunate. She must be really perplexed. But you know that Brooke's mind is working. Because nothing makes Ridge feel more enraged than witnessing Brooke with another man, particularly Nick. Wait until Brooke turns on the charm and begins showing off her connection with Captain Marone in front of Ridge's face if Taylor's proposal seemed like a power move. Is Nick being used by Brooke? Probably. She is aware of his impact on Ridge as much as on herself. She deliberately tries to win Ridge's heart back by inciting his envy with every laugh, touch, and sly gaze with Nick. And it's functioning. Ridge's emotions are simmering beneath the surface as he spirals. Steffi can even see it. She is also aware of her father's conflicted feelings, therefore she is not a fool. She is aware that the entire engagement drama is a ticking time bomb. Unfortunately, Taylor is blind to it. Or perhaps she does, but she won't acknowledge it. She has staked everything on it. Emotional stability, pride, and dignity. She believes she can finally change their story by taking charge. Ever the opportunist, Nick is stealthily exploiting the confusion. He doesn't care that Brooke might be playing him. He finds the show entertaining. Not to mention that another of Nick's past lovers, Katie Logan, is also present. He has a fallback alternative in case Brooke dumps him, and the drama will only get worse. Once more, Katie and Brooke could become trapped in the same man's web. The Logan sisters are never able to agree for very long. What about Ridge? He must balance everything: the pressure of Taylor's public proposal, the allure of Brooke's rekindled feelings, the recollection of his complex past with both women, and the awareness that he will hurt someone's feelings no matter what decision he chooses. His own, perhaps. This proposition will have seismic repercussions. Connections will break down. Alliances will change. After reclaiming Ridge, Brooke might come to the realization that she never really wanted him back. Taylor may reach her lowest point emotionally and then either break down or, hopefully, regain her sense of self. What about Nick? He will agitate, control, entice, and perhaps, just possibly, emerge with the final laugh. We can't stop watching The Bold and the Beautiful because it simply reminded us of that. Because the highlights of this soap opera are moments like Nick's sly grin, Ridge's astonished silence, and Taylor's fervent proposal. B&B is full of drama, heartbreak, betrayal, love triangles, or we're now at love hexagons, and an insatiable desire for sensuality. And because of this turn of events, we're going straight into a storm of heartache, secrets, and devastating betrayals that nobody can control, not even Taylor Hayes. So, soap fans, don't get up from your screens. Because this is only the beginning of the journey. The eavesdropper was startled by Nick's audacious marriage choice. According to Monday, July 23rd spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor Hayes will take matters into her own hands when it comes to Ridge Forrester and the future she wants. Taylor will have to go to great lengths to keep her promise to Ridge that she will never let Brooke Logan get in their way again. Despite his repeated claims to the contrary, Ridge hasn't offered any hard proof of his dedication to Taylor. According to Taylor, an engagement ring would be a significant change and show Brooke that Ridge is dedicated to the long haul. In a perfect world, Taylor would certainly prefer that Ridge propose. However, Taylor might have to wait an eternity if she waited for Ridge to drop the question. Taylor is a sophisticated woman who knows how to take the initiative, so she won't hesitate to plan her proposal and buy herself a ring. As it turns out, Taylor would invite Ridge in for a formal speech shortly after deciding to pop the question in Illinois Giardino. In an attempt to remarry Ridge, Taylor will force him into an unplanned wedding. Nick Marone will happen to be in Deacon Sharp's restaurant at the time of this marriage proposal. Nick will be able to hear what's being said and see how glamorous Taylor is. Regarding Destiny, Nick has been chasing Brooke and trying to change her perspective. As a result, Nick is eager to see how Ridge responds to Taylor's suggestion. If Nick learns anything new, he will let Brooke know right away. B&B fans should expect that Ridge will be taken by surprise and struggle to react till then. Ridge will have a difficult time handling this situation, but he cannot abandon Taylor indefinitely. Taylor will never give up on her dream of getting married to Ridge once more and living a happy life. Sadly, no matter how Ridge responds to her in the next episodes, Taylor's romance is doomed. The Bold and the Beautiful teasers indicate that Ridge will experience more romantic developments during the July sweeps, so tune in to watch him revote to Brooke. Is this the fifth child of Jacqueline MacInnes Wood? According to teasers and updates for The Bold and the Beautiful, Jacqueline MacInnes Wood revealed early this year that she is expecting her fifth child. However, fans are already speculating that the actress may have already given birth to her fifth kid as they use social media to learn more about her life. Wood has 4 boys to date. As an actress, Wood is best known for her portrayal of Steffi Forrester on The Bold and the Beautiful. It's noteworthy that Wood's character evolved into adulthood after assuming the role. When she announced in 2013 that she was taking a vacation from the soap opera, she made headlines, but she came back in 2015. In her private life, Wood is the mother of 4 sons, Vala James, Rise Harlan, Lennox, and Brando Elian. Elan Ruspoli is her spouse. Wood happily told her fans that she was expecting her 5th child in 2025. Wood used social media to announce her pregnancy. "I'm almost 7 months along," was the celebrity's statement when she just announced her pregnancy on Instagram. full with love, vigor, and excitement. This is truly a momentous time for us. My children are thrilled, and our family is ecstatic. Supporters speculated that Wood may have given birth at that time after noticing that she had recently ceased using social media. Her most recent image, taken in April, seemed to commemorate the Easter season and showed Wood with bunnies with her sons in a carousel. Fans thought she had given birth to a girl called Grace based on her remarks. A fresh start. May this Easter be a reminder that light always follows the longest winters. Grace in full bloom, Wood captioned the photo. It's highly probable that Wood and her hubby are hoping for a girl after having 4 boys, and fans started speculating that she was hinting at the birth of her first child, with Grace being one potential name. Although a recent social media post indicates that Wood is still awaiting the birth of her 5th child, some fans suspect that her absence from social media may have been due to her pregnancy. Don Diamond's recent 40th anniversary event was shared on social media. In honor of his 40th anniversary with CBS, Don Diamond, who played Brad Carlton on The Young and the Restless, shared a carousel on social media. There aren't enough words to describe how grateful I am for the last 40 years of my career overall, he continued, and especially for the incredible event a few days ago that celebrated my 40th anniversary on CBS. I was fortunate to have my family there, and the sentiments expressed by everyone touched me deeply. Thank you isn't enough to describe how I feel, but thank you nonetheless, he said. Images display Jacqueline next to John McCook and Naomi Matsuda.